scholars believe that he is a threat to the United States, and terrorism isn't new to the United States. We know Al-Qaeda, we know the Taliban, but ISIS is very fast growing, it is very deadly, and they're very strong and very fast at mobilizing. But the first we know of is Al-Qaeda, which came about in 1988. Al-Qaeda may be so powerful because of their religious beliefs. They're very strong-rooted, very passionate about them. They have taken the Muslim religion to a whole other level. We call them extremists. They take the word jihad, which means struggle, and they've turned it into a very violent term, and they believe that that's all right. They believe that they're the target for Christian and Jewish alliances, which puts the United States and many Western countries at a very big disadvantage. It puts them in danger as well. They believe that killing is religiously sanctioned so that they won't be punished later in life. Al-Qaeda is very much responsible for the negative thoughts about Muslim faith. They have turned Muslims into a very violent group. And their goal is to provoke the West to attack them. They do this by attacking us, and one of the most famous attacks is the attack on 9/11. And right now they await the downfall of the U.S. economy so that they, as they build their Al-Qaeda into an ideology, and they grow support, they hope to attack the United States when our economy finally does collapse. Although half the age of Al-Qaeda, the Taliban is a very powerful following and has damaged the United States in many ways. And in the beginning, the Taliban was created to protect ports and trade via the sea, but they quickly became a strong faction. And in just 2 years, so in 1996, they took control of Kabul and they began enforcing their extreme Islamic law. In the 1990s, they weren't a huge threat to the United States. They were very rough and very dangerous to the Middle East, but they weren't attacking the U.S. quite yet. But in the 2000s, we saw a very drastic change to that. So in 2001, they enforced their extreme Islamic law very heavily on their own civilians in the Iraqi territory, which led up to the events that occurred on 9/11. And 95% of all suicide bombings are Muslim extremists. And in 2005, the Taliban grouped together, because they kind of fell away for a few years, but they grouped together and they made it the deadliest year for United States troops since the end of the war in 2001. And so most recently is ISIS, which again stands for the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria. And they have separated themselves from Al-Qaeda. They are even more dangerous, more violent, and more extreme than them. ISIS is this very seriously hostile group. They are very lethal based on their attacks so far in the United States. And they have a history of more attacks towards the West. And now they have a territorial base that exceeds the expansion of Al-Qaeda and the Taliban at their beginning. And so now they have their territorial base about the size of Iraq already, and that's where they planned their attacks on the U.S. and other Western countries. They had a plan to destabilize Iraq, and that has already gone underway, and they are now a more powerful group in Syria than others around them. And their strengths really outweigh their weaknesses. Their strengths include their ability to mobilize and recruit their followers because they're so passionate, and their resources have expanded immensely because they've captured so much land. They have also, just 2 weeks ago, they captured people from the university in the area, and they stole 88 pounds of uranium, which is very popular, or popularly known as a very key ingredient to atomic bombs. So all in all, ISIS is a fast-growing organization, and we need to keep a very close eye on them. So together, Al-Qaeda, which is the oldest, the Taliban, which is very strong and deadly to many countries, But now are very extreme in their faiths, are very extreme in their violence, and we have had to